HD3 Laverne. We are the Game Nashville Sports Network. ESPN 94.9, The Fan.
30 years of the best sports talk in Middle Tennessee. It's the George Plaster Show, featuring Tennessee Sports Hall of Famers Kelly Holcomb and young gun Billy Derrick. And now, here's your host, George Plaster.
Hello again, everybody. Welcome in. It is a beautiful Tuesday in Nashville, Tennessee. Temperatures not nearly as warm as before I went on vacation, and that right there is a good thing. A lot to talk about today. First off, I had mentioned a little more than a week ago that we would have a big announcement, and the announcement is basically this. We welcome the Whiskey, which is 105.1 and 95.9 down in the Manchester, Tullahoma, Shelbyville, Lynchburg area. We're excited to have you guys and gals. Thanks to Josh Peterson and the crew down there for making this happen, and hope that you'll enjoy the sports talk and let your friends know that we are out there. Let's say hello very quickly to Kelly Holcomb, former NFL quarterback. Kelly, did you miss me?
Not one bit, George. Sorry. I apologize, but I didn't miss you at all.
Well, that's
you just talked about the Whiskey, man. That's some of my stomping grounds down there, so
yeah,
that's nice. Hopefully they listen.
That'd be
nice.
Get them revved up down there. By the way, for the record, I did not miss you either.
At least we're honest with each other, you know?
Yeah, let's get a little more honesty. Billy Derrick, ladies and gentlemen, young gun, whatever that means. Did you miss me?
I'll be honest. There was a little bit there because, this isn't easy.
Oh,
I'll say, I feel like I've gotten better, but man, every time I do, it's rarely a full week. And last week, we had Friday too with the football stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Thought I did better, but yeah, it's not an easy thing to do.
Wow, listen to that.
No, but it was fun. We had a good week.
Yeah, you did. Did a
George,
good job.
I was 2 out of 4 on my picks on the stat of the day too, brother.
Really? So you
yeah.
feel right now like you need me, do you?
No, I do feel like I need you, but Billy was really surprised because he asked me a question about the Mountain West and what was the last team that won the Mountain West?
Yeah.
Other than Boise State, and it was in 2013. And I was like Fresno State. And he was like, "How did you know that?"
Wow, well done.
You said that in like 3 seconds. I'm like, what in the world?
Boom. Okay, for those listening on the Whiskey, you may be new to all of this. Those in our 94.9 listening area and those watching us on the podcast, you know that each and every day we begin with our daily Titans update with Terry McCormick, Main Street Media, and TitanInsider.com. Terry, did you even miss me?
Probably not.
Great. That's really nice. That's wonderful. So,
great, Terry.
Before I went on vacation, I thought that the Titans would take their number one position in the waiver wire situation and go to town. How much really did they do?
Well, they picked up 4 guys plus signed Shy Tuttle, the former Vol, who was cut by Carolina. All the moves that they made were on defense, and I think that that's pretty telling right there, that they must feel like the offense is ahead of the defense in terms of personnel right now. The 2 biggest guys, I think, the 2 guys they got that I think can help them the most are Shy Tuttle, who we mentioned. He'll be decent defensive line depth, and I think he could get some reps this week because you got T'Vondre Sweat coming off that tonsillectomy, and you're going to Denver to play in altitude. So he's not been practicing a whole lot, so I think his reps may be down. So you may need Shy Tuttle to get you, 15 snaps this week, 20 snaps, whatever it might be. The other guy is Jalen Armour Davis, who they picked up from Baltimore. Ravens' scheme is similar to what the Titans run on defense. So he's not coming into this thing just ice cold. If he can stay healthy, he's a guy I think that can help him.
Terry, are you surprised that they didn't try to get something in the wide receiver world?
A little bit, but I think that they kind of want to give these young guys a chance. Chimere Dike is going to be their punt returner. He's also going to be one of the kickoff returners, along with Bryce Oliver. So there's two of your young guys right there. Then you got Alec Manor, who they really kind of gave a crash course to in the preseason games and in the joint practices with the Falcons, kind of feeding him the ball to see what they can get out of him. So they're trying, I think, to give these guys the Cliff's Notes version of the offense so they can contribute right away.
So I wasn't able to pay as close an attention as I wanted to. In your mind, who was the best wide receiver out there for them to pluck if they had so desired?
Didn't really see a lot on the waiver wire in terms of the one guy that I would say that I thought they might take a flyer on was, I think this guy, I think his name is Trey Palmer. He was with the Tampa Bay Bucks, and they obviously saw him in the joint practice. You may remember him, George. He had that back-breaking touchdown against the Eagles in the playoffs a couple of years ago.
And he was available. Okay. Leave me with this. Tomorrow you're going to come on at 4:20, and we're going to go to the end of the hour, take some phone calls, that kind of thing. What's the preparation week look like going to Denver?
Well, obviously, they're going to have to prepare for Denver's defense, which is going to blitz you like crazy. I think I saw a stat that somebody threw out there that they blitzed 29% of the time last year. That's quite high. So it's going to be a lot on this offensive line to protect Cam Ward. And it's also going to be a lot on him to make sure he's making the right reads and using his hot reads to get rid of the football, unless he wants to get sacked and get in trouble very early against a defense that Vance Joseph doesn't mind dialing up pressure.
Kelly, you had something?
Well, I'll ask him tomorrow. That'll be good. I'll ask him tomorrow. I'll save it for tomorrow.
Save it for a rainy day.
Yes. It looks like it is a rainy day out here, George.
We could use some. My yard's looking a little Steiner Liffish. Terry C., you thanks as always.
All right.
That's Terry McCormick's Daily Titans Update. And again, for those of you down in southern Middle Tennessee, we begin the show during football season with Terry each and every day.
And we also keep it going with a daily update. And that update is by Football Night in Nashville. Kicks off finally. Feels like it's been forever that we've been talking about this for the last 3 weeks. But this Thursday night, join us out at Sports and Social in Green Hills for the Eagles and the Cowboys to kick off the NFL season. We'll be there with the show 3 to 5 and then stay for the game.
Let me say this. It's going to be a huge crowd. If you're coming, and we want you to, get there early if you can. Make a point to register for that beautiful, $15,000 golf cart that we're going to give away at the end of the season. Anytime you come in on one of these Thursday nights, what we call Football Night in Nashville, you can register to win. Boom.
How about it?
Yeah.
Well, we start with last night's debacle. North Carolina.
Sorry, George.
I got to thinking. So I had blown off all this hot air last Thursday. There's no way he's going to lose his debut. Well, this just in, not only did he lose it, he got it stuffed somewhere.
Yeah, boat raced in his season opener.
That's a good way to put it. After the game, Bill Belichick said, "We're better than what we were tonight, but we have to go out there and show that and prove it. Nobody's going to do it for us. We're going to have to do it ourselves, and that's what we're going to do." I don't totally buy that they're better than what they showed last night.
Well, I'll say this. I'm sure that trying to get 70 new faces into being a cohesive unit is really hard, but they didn't look all that talented.
Right.
Just to be perfectly honest, they look like a
They
dumpster.
did not.
In a related note, if you go outside right now and you hear a roar, it's because TCU just scored again. Thank you.
Well,
Hey, Billy, is it true? I saw this today. Is it true? I know that they had halftime, but is it true that the Gio Lopez kid didn't complete a ball for 2 hours?
that is true. I was just about to get to that. He went 2 hours and 8 minutes between completed passes against TCU. At 7:12, 12 minutes after kickoff, he completed a 19-yard pass. And then at 9:20, 2 hours later, he completed a 16-yard pass.
But this show has reason to believe that around 7:25, Bill Belichick said to himself, what the hell am I doing here?
What's crazy
on the road today.
Ooh, it was ugly.
What's crazy is the buildup. It was a packed house. You know, they had the pyrotechnics and the fireworks and Belichick's walkout. You know, they had the game day set there, ESPN. That wasn't worth watching after 5 minutes.
Here's two things I noticed. Number one, a lot of that crowd left middle of the third quarter. And if you listened real closely, there was some booing.
Some boo birds? As there should have been.
Isn't that interesting?
Well, we had another disappointing result on Saturday. Alabama goes down to Florida State and gets beat. But their receiver, in bigger news, Ryan Williams, is in concussion protocol and might miss the Louisiana-Monroe game. Kalen Moore said he's still in concussion protocol. He's considered day-to-day. He was helped off the field midway through the fourth quarter on Saturday after his helmet slammed into the ground after his third dropped pass of the game. He finished with just 5 catches and 30 yards. I know he was hurt and didn't get to play a lot of that game, but even when he was healthy and out there, he was dropping passes. We'll get into that, but
tired old UL Monroe. When do they get a home game?
Hater.
Oh,
George, you're a hater.
You
are. You're always talking about Louisiana Monroe, man. They've got a football program. They were good last year. They had a good team.
I'm not saying they weren't. When's the last time they had a home game?
Louisiana Monroe was the one that beat Alabama when Nick Saban's first year. Am I not correct on that?
Yep.
Yes.
Exactly. You're always hating.
How ironic is that? Alabama loses to Florida State, and now everybody's up in arms. Now all you got to go do is beat UL Monroe, the team that
this
knocked off
is not
Nick
the
Saban.
week we're going to learn about them.
No. Well, we learned a lot over the weekend. The AP poll has been switched around a little bit. Number 1, Ohio State. They have retaken where Texas was. Penn State at number 2, LSU at 3, Georgia at 4, Miami at 5. Notre Dame falls to number 9.
Billy, of much more importance is Kelly's poll,
Yes,
which he
absolutely.
will release at 4:20.
You're right.
That's the one.
I'm starting to rethink some stuff though. I mean, I sat down yesterday and you said you're going to be pissed that you had to do this, but you always have these deals where you send it to you and then you're like, I shouldn't have put them on there, or maybe they should be higher, or I don't know about that one.
Okay, well,
Thanks,
make
George.
a note or two and come back with it.
Okay, all right.
That's what makes it fun in after week 1, because it is all too early, but we still do it. We've also got some NFL news. Jackson Dart has officially been listed as the backup quarterback behind Russell Wilson, which don't think is too much of a surprise.
Nope.
He's listed ahead of Jameis Winston, who was the number 2 on the unofficial depth chart throughout the entirety of the preseason when Jackson Dart was 3rd. But Jackson Dart, and I mean, he'll play this year.
I don't think there's any question he will.
He's absolutely playing this year. We've also got some news. George Raveling, Hall of Fame coach and Nike executive who helped sign Michael Jordan, has passed away at the age of 88. The former Villanova standout, he coached in college basketball for over 2 decades before retiring and moving to Nike. His family wrote that he faced cancer with courage and grace and transitioned peacefully, surrounded by family.
He was one of the real movers and shakers in college basketball in the 80s when it started to take off. So there.
So there. We've got an interesting piece. Also, well, where did it go? I lost it. My bad. Computer
Good radio, Billy. Way to go.
The Micah Parsons, of course, who's now on the Packers. His agent has come out and said that he wanted to stay with the Cowboys, and that Parsons had never planned to sit out this season. He would have played for the Cowboys in the opener against the Eagles if he had not been traded to the Packers last week. I don't know that I fully believe that.
Okay, but let me ask you this. How did Jerry Jones think it was going to work out? Was he just going to pick up the phone, call the agent, and go, listen, good news, baby. You don't have to do anything. Micah and I have a handshake deal. I mean, Jerry Jones acts like he has no clue that agents get in the middle of this.
He's having elderly moments, George. I mean, he's elderly now. You know what I'm saying? And guess what, guys? He's still got the red pen. So he's been doing this stuff for 30 years. What's surprising?
Nothing.
Not really.
Yeah, nothing.
I do have one story. I don't know if you want me to get to this or not.
Go right ahead.
Okay. So Vanderbilt has declined to comment on Diego Pavia's brother's arrest on Saturday. Spokesperson for the program declined to comment after Roel and Javier Pavia were arrested after the Charleston Southern game. The spokesperson stated that the program would have no further comment due to this being an active police matter.
What were they supposed to say?
That's a fair point.
We believe there was drinky winky involved. I mean, what were they supposed to say?
I don't know, but wanted to get that out there.
I'll say this: they seem to have a good time.
They do.
Okay, big show for you today. Super Tuesday, if you will, to celebrate the new station down in southern Middle Tennessee. We bring you Tony Basilio in a matter of about 3 minutes. Then at 4 o'clock, David Cutcliffe. He will be on with us every Tuesday at 4 o'clock. And if you've never heard him before, he is a terrific interview. Nobody talks football better than that guy. We got a lot happening. We'll open the phones around 4:30. Kelly will have his top 12 poll that he now has told us isn't worth a damn. And then I will have, Kelly, at 4:25, my take on what is going on internally at Alabama.
Oh, that'll be great. We'll all get to hear you about Alabama. That's awesome.
Stay tuned. This is the George Plaster Show.
When I got my first car, my dad told me, keep the gas tank full and my number on speed dial. Now parents are telling their kids, save 615-242-9000 just in case. I'm Blair Durham. If you or someone you love is in a wreck, call us. We're here to get you the money you deserve.
A golf cart from Mikey's Motors is the perfect way to get around this summer. Whether you're going to the park, the pool, or the playground, do it in a brand new golf cart from Mikey's Motors, Franklin and Murfreesboro.
Summertime fun in Tennessee. That's what we sell at Mikey's Motors. Come see how we roll.
It's easy to say good things about the folks at Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers. Number one, I trust them with something that's near and dear to me, the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night. But more importantly, I see the fun people have. They enjoy the bowling. They enjoy the camaraderie, and you will too. Come by any of their locations and get ready to have some fun.
As the trusted premier custom home builder in Middle Tennessee, Donnelly Timmons has over 20 years of experience in the industry. Whether you're looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and every remodel is unique, luxurious, and completed on time within budget. Founders Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly have over 25 years of construction experience in the Nashville area. Together, they have completed projects in Forest Hills, Oak Hill, Green Hills, Franklin, and Brentwood. Dustin and Joey believe that communication is the most important aspect of all construction projects. Therefore, they personally manage each project themselves and are involved in job site activities on a daily basis. Their commitment to quality and integrity has earned them an outstanding reputation among their clients. Contact them to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects. Give them a call at 615-456-7983 or log on to DonleyTimmons.com.
At Wilson Bank and Trust, we believe you shouldn't have to choose between personal service and digital solutions. As your local independent bank, we're proud to offer the relationships and trusted service you expect, along with the tools and technology that keep you moving forward. So whether you're growing a business, buying a home, or planning for the future, we're here to help. Because this isn't just where we work, it's where we live too. Wilson Bank and Trust, here to get you there. Member FDIC.
Are you looking for expert medical care in Nashville without leaving your home? Medical House Calls brings concierge-level health care directly to your door. Whether you need urgent attention, ongoing primary care, revitalizing IV therapy, or medically guided weight loss, our experienced providers are just a phone call away at 615-838-2375 or go online, medicalhousecalls.com. Whether you need urgent attention, ongoing primary care, revitalizing IV therapy, or medically guided weight loss, our experienced providers are just a phone call away at 615-838-2375 or go online, medicalhousecalls.com.
It's the George Plaster Show. Your sports live here on 94.9 The Fan.
We got a lot to get to today, and we begin in Knoxville with our man Tony Basilio for his weekly Tuesday visit. Tony, how you doing?
Doing great, guys. David Cutcliffe on Tuesday. You're not going to need me anymore. It's fun knowing me. Oh,
That's
well.
not true.
And then there was a time I found out I was getting replaced on live radio.
That is not true.
Oh, well.
Do not say that.
Nice knowing me.
But let me say this. We have some nice parting gifts.
Thank you, George. I've always been partial to a case of rice-a-roni.
Tony, you've been out in the sun. You look better, man. You look like you got some vibrancy about you. You look like you got a little bit more color, man. You good?
I'm doing my workouts, Kelly. I'm doing my workouts. I'm getting ready to get my epidural shot in my back. You remember those days, Kelly. That'll fire you up, focus you, and prepare you, brother, when they put that epidural on you.
What are you doing? You having a baby, dude? What's up?
Interesting.
So I'm guessing Saturday about 4:00 Eastern time that your post-game stuff was really interesting. I've got to believe everybody was thrilled with Joey Aguilar. I thought he was terrific.
100 days, man. I mean, you and I both know how much work that takes. One of my take-home messages is that guy got here and he worked at it. He's been given a lifeline and an opportunity here, and he was told he couldn't do it. And they let him run it. They let him go out there and run their offense. They let him do something that they didn't let Joe Milton do. They let him do something that they didn't trust the five-star kid to do, and that's run their offense. Go fast, improvise, think a little bit. And they went right out and did it, George, which was pretty remarkable how clean it was. No David Sanders at tackle. They shuffled around 3 offensive line positions to accommodate him on a line that were already shuffling people around. And the fact that Syracuse is dreadful on defense helps too. But that was a very clean, credible effort from Tennessee over the weekend.
Tony, when do you think their coaching staff privately said to themselves, relax, he's going to be fine?
I don't know. That's a great question because early on in the process, in the run up to this, I know it's been a slow go, but he's a veteran player. And I guess he's shown an aptitude to handle it, George, because they've given him, they let him run their offense. It looked like, I'm not going to say Hendon Hooker was back, but they had their wide receivers running choice routes. He was throwing the ball in the middle of the field. They were throwing it long. They were trusting him to make plays, and he did it. So it was a pretty great way to open the season. It's been a lot of fun around here.
Oh, I bet it has been. Okay, so check mark good on the quarterback. The Ricky Gibson injury, how in the world do they make up for that?
I don't know. And when you hear Josh Heupel say that a guy's out for an extended period of time, that's very scary, because generally speaking, Josh Heupel does not give anything away. I don't care who he's playing. They're concerned about him. They're concerned about Moy on the defensive line, who's got like a left elbow, like arm type thing coming out of that game. If there's a blessing here, it's that Tennessee went out in the offseason and they got Colton Hood. They have some depth there because of guys they've developed. The Redmond kid that you saw who came in the game at corner is a true freshman who got to campus in January, and he was very good. Jalen McMurray might get an opportunity over there, who's been playing the star nickel for them, which means they could let Boo Carter go back and play that position if they wanted to. So they've got, as we like to say, George, a term I hate, but I'm going to use it. They've got optionality there.
Optionality, big word. Meanwhile, I stayed up late to watch Nico, who was running for his life.
George, we teach our kids, and Kelly knows this. When you teach your kids that when you make a decision in haste, or you make a decision in pride without thinking about it, generally you're going to make the wrong decision. That family did not do that kid any justice with that move. That football team, he's going to get hurt. Let me tell you something. Watching that game the other night, George, I went into that game with a spirit of, I'm going to hate watch us. And then as it unfolded, I felt really sorry for that young man on that football field, because he's in a bad situation. He's going to get himself hurt playing behind that football team. That's a total disservice that his father did to him. And it's all about pride, and it's all about ego. And look, if you're going to leave UT, leave UT. That's fine. Whatever. Don't go there. What it tells me, though, George, is UCLA was desperate enough to take him because they tried to leverage him to Oregon. They wouldn't have him. They tried to leverage him to USC. They wouldn't have him. They tried to leverage him to some teams around the league. In December, Tennessee has since found out they wouldn't have him. And so he's at a place where he's got no offensive line. He's got no help. The game plan the other night looked like it called for him to run for his life. I mean, they're calling like real running plays for him. That's just not his game, George.
Yeah.
That he's going to get hurt.
Absolutely.
Out there. The Penn States, the Ohio States, the Michigans, the Oregons. I mean, that's not going to be fun for him.
No, and there has to be a difference in environment. You got 100,000 people in a rabid, crazy Neyland Stadium, and you've got the Rose Bowl, which looks like there's a body entombed in one of the end zones. They had about 32,000 at that game. I mean, he had to notice that.
I don't know what that kid notices watching him. He just doesn't look to me like he's on our planet. I feel sorry for him. Again, he's the same guy, George, I saw last year, which is he just looks detached from it all. I'll tell you one thing. This Joey Aguilar guy, I mean, after 1 week, that's a trade I'd make.
Oh, yeah.
For some reason, George, the two guys that Heupel has reluctantly gotten married to, Hendon Hooker and this guy, okay, are better fits than the guys he chased. Better fit than Joe Milton and a better fit than Nico. I'm always going to leave you. This guy here is a better fit than Nico for what Tennessee wants to do. Now, I don't know. Is he eventually going to revert and throw interceptions and stuff and struggle and with ball protection? I don't know. But I do know this. His moxie, his leadership ability, he's well-liked and well-respected among that football team, George. And you can see that on the field. You can read that body language. The great Mark Griffin taught me the art of reading body language a long time ago. You can tell that those kids, George, really respond to him in a short amount of time.
Yep. Kelly, the floor is yours. Say hello to Tony.
Tony, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, Cal. Good to talk to you, buddy.
Hey, so just watching Joey Aguilar, and I was listening to something coming home today, and I think it was Joel Klatt, and he was talking about people don't understand Josh Heupel's offense because they think it's all this throwing, and he runs the football. Like, they have 2,500 yards rushing every year that he's been there, but I don't think he has him do too much, and I think that gives a quarterback confidence, man, of what you're doing. And it looked like the other day, man, I know he's loaded with confidence, but I think playing in an offense like that you're not, let's be honest, they're not really dependent upon that. Like, if you just don't turn the ball over, Josh Heupel can put you in situations where you're successful.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. Now, you explain to me why this guy looks more comfortable than Nico.
I just don't think Nico could play, man. That's just me. That's just
you don't
me.
think he can play?
No, I do not. I never did. I mean, y'all were big on him last year, and I've always said this to George, even when Will Levis came, like, you gotta pump the brakes on these quarterbacks some because you've got to be accurate, especially now in college football. The days when I was growing up, you had Herschel Walker's, Bo Jack, just hand it off to those guys, and you maybe complete a pass every now and then. But now it's so quarterback grown, man. It's just you've got to have a guy that's in that position. I never thought Nico was very good. I thought he was too inaccurate with the ball. This kid may be inaccurate with the ball at some point, but just watching him play the other night, he looked confident and he looked like he knew what he was doing.
Which is really, like, from your perspective, right? Being in a spot for 100 days, okay?
It's hard.
Digesting the terminology, right?
Hard.
That stuff. And then to go out on a field with a bunch of guys you're not familiar with who, let's say this, they might have had 3 or 4 practices where all 3 receivers were out on the field in the summer together.
Right.
That, look that clean, okay? To look that composed, to execute in a Division I football game where defenses are ahead of offenses this time of the year. If you just watch college football, you just watch it. Defenses are mostly ahead of offenses, except in the case of Bill Belichick over there at North Carolina, because now that's one segment of hate watching that I'm going to enjoy watching. Because his girlfriend was down on the sideline last night, but I digress. The thing is, Tennessee's given themselves a real opportunity now. Everybody's kind of like resharpening their pencil, like you do after week 1. And they're telling me they're only an underdog in one game the rest of the way. Now, I gotta believe that or see that to believe that. But, this FPI thing, Bill Conley and the ESPN people have our fan base all jacked up. And you know what? Why not live in the moment? Why not enjoy this? Because Tennessee's got Georgia in 11 days after a game with East Tennessee State. And that's a scratch at a lottery ticket. Georgia's got a kid that's going to make his first start on the road. And you never know till you go on the road in these deals. It's a totally different thing than a controlled environment in your building.
Well, Tennessee came in and dominated, which we thought they would, but sometimes that never happens. You never really know. I listened to Nick Saban on a podcast. You never really know. Every coach, the first game, there's so many things that are going on. You think that this guy's going to play this way or situationally we're going to play that way, and sometimes that just doesn't work out. So is there anything that you learned in that game the other day that maybe surprised you, like maybe with the receivers, maybe with defensive something, a certain position? Was there anything that you learned in that game that kind of surprised you?
From a Tennessee perspective, I was really, really, really impressed with the quarterback, obviously, but the offensive line was terrific. This Pendleton guy who they decided to go ahead and stick at center, there's another kid on the roster they were really hoping would win the job. And then they had a couple scrimmages, and he wasn't going to be able to do it. And they brought Pendleton as an interior lineman from Notre Dame, and he was really good the other day. Tennessee's offensive line surprised me. Now, it's all conditional on keeping what you see in perspective. But it's very hard to do that early in the year because the sample sizes are so small. And so you have to overreact. You have to. But at the same time, I do believe we're going to look back on this season and we're going to say Syracuse is one of the worst defenses in college football. I think the three worst defenses in college football right now are Syracuse, UCLA, and Stanford. I think those are the worst three defenses in Power 4 football, and teams that, try to play in Power 4 football. And so, but you still, all that unfamiliarity, the shuffling around of the offensive line, you still have to go out and play against air. You still have to execute, as you know. I mean, and it's hard. What those guys did the other day was a remarkable coaching job. It was great execution by those kids. And it was really impressive. So that impressed me. The other thing that I thought was really impressive was seeing the new DBs and that young DB, the Redmond kid out there. That's a kid that just got here. I mean, you should not be doing that at this level. And I'll tell you something else. Syracuse has a pretty nice little offense. I thought, fans tend to, and when you're doing a call-in show, they don't want any plays to be made against you, okay? I'm going to rip this guy, rip that guy. You know how that is. Hey, listen, You got Division I athletes over there, and this Angeli guy can play a little bit.
Yeah, he can.
When he's not a statue and he's not getting sacked, but he was resourceful. Those two veteran quarterbacks here, they both on their campuses, one like 110 days, one around 100. Both of those guys remind me, and I love baseball because baseball, I can get you out with my fastball, but I can also get you out with my brain. Both of those guys were playing with their brain on Saturday. And Aguilar, both those guys were playing with a little bit of guile, using their experience, pulling on their reservoir, kind of slowing the game down a little bit, even though they were in new spots. I was impressed with both guys. And Syracuse's offense impressed me. But defensively, Kelly, that's a dreadful football team. I mean, bad.
Yeah. Well, last question from me here, because I know your son wants to ask one as well. I'm sure he'll be coming up here in a second. But
be nice if he returned the call.
What was? Give me a brief synopsis on what you thought of the first weekend of college football, because I really, everybody's talking about Alabama and everybody's talking about the Texas deal, but really when it boils down to it, the physical teams, you got to win up front in the SEC. You got to win up front in the Big Ten, and the teams that won this week, that's exactly what they did, and they were physical.
I love the street fights. Florida State and Alabama was a total street fight, and Florida State hammered them at the line of scrimmage.
Dominated them. Yeah.
Here's what I don't understand. All this pro football hocus pocus and Lindy's and these, everybody tells me how great Alabama's offensive line is. It'd be nice if they'd show it just every once in a while. I mean, I love that they got all these great players. It'd be nice if they on the football field would show it. That's part one. Part two, when you watch Ohio State and Texas play, brother, that's not for the faint of heart. I mean, those two teams were hitting each other. And then when I think those two teams are in the playoffs at the end of the year, but I was really surprised by how much Arch Manning struggled. That was one of my great surprises of the weekend. That's a guy that's been on campus 3 years. Okay? 3 years.
First start.
The lights looked very, very bright for him. All this stuff about him going to the NFL, I would kind of pump the brakes on that. Mark Schlereth had a great tweet. He said, this guy's got more commercials airing in this game than he does completions. Mm-hmm. But other than that, it's a good thing. And then the other thought for you guys is, Clemson and LSU the other night. Clemson has been rumored to be an SEC team to be. They look like an SEC team on defense. That great defensive line of theirs, the way both those teams took the running game away from the other team, that felt like an SEC football game. Good,
Tony,
good stuff, guys.
What'd you think of Tennessee's defense? You know, I didn't expect after this game to be talking all about Aguilar and the offense. I certainly didn't think they'd put up all the points that they did. But what did you think about Tennessee's defense? Obviously, Angeli did a few things where you go, oh, this guy can make some throws. Obviously, they didn't have enough of that. But what did you think of the Tennessee defense?
Well, you know that from your Notre Dame background. I mean, Angeli can make plays. I mean, he did it in the playoffs last year. Tennessee's defense, the two injuries they have, look, those are going to be big. If those two guys are out for an extended period of time, which they say that already about the corner, Ricky Gibson, but you know, if the Moy guy can't go, they're already down a starting defensive lineman from the summer, and something that occurred. They're already down an All-America cornerback. So you get in these games, you know, you get on the field with Georgia, you need as close to a full complement as you can have. And I'll tell you a sneaky game. We were talking about this today on the air from a Tennessee perspective this weekend, because this is kind of a light weekend, as you guys know. A sneaky game from the Tennessee perspective this weekend is Arizona State visits Mississippi State. Mississippi State blew out
Southern Miss.
Today. Yeah, that's right. And check this out. If they win that game, they have a rummy game before the Vols, which means Tennessee will go down there on a Saturday night in Starkville, and they're going to be unbeaten if, in fact, they get past Arizona State, who did not look great, by the way, over the weekend. And that Jeff Lebby guy, George, that guy knows how to coach his offense. You know that guy in his second year. You knew he was going to improve and be resourceful and find some people to help him offensively.
By the way, that'll be the last time they ever go down to Hattiesburg.
Amen to that, brother.
I cannot believe they let that happen. What else do you have for your father?
Oh, that's it, Tony.
That's it?
I'll call you back. Sorry, it was a busy weekend. Had a long week. I know.
Hey, now you didn't wrestle, right? At your Catholic school, did you wrestle?
I didn't. No.
Billy, I wrestled.
He didn't do anything.
Billy, you do that again, and when my back heals, I'm gonna put you in a figure 4 leg lock, brother. You're gonna know it.
I got my money on Billy, Tony. I put my money on Billy.
Okay, half Nelson on it.
If a person is out there in Middle Tennessee and they're saying to themselves, that bald-headed guy is really
simpleton. Who is that simpleton? That's what they're saying to themselves. And can you please get him off so we can get David Cutcliffe on so we can get some credible football opinions? They can find me at tclub.team. George, we're having so much fun. How great is this, guys, that college football is back?
Oh, thank God.
They can have the portal. They can have all this money, all this NIL. When that ball's kicked off, man, and Bill Belichick's girlfriend's over there on the sidelines looking for a place to hide last night. I mean, my gosh, how great is this? And the Pavia brothers are fighting out in the street. Anybody want to come? Come on. Anybody want to take on the Pavia brothers? Hey, Kelly, what's going on with MTSU, by the way, man? Now that we're on the subject, what was that about over the weekend? Not that I want to pick up wounds here, because it's not.
I know
it
is. Is it one? Yeah, I was obviously not at the game, but I heard that I heard that their team looked more physical and just everything about it looked better than MTSU, and that's really discouraging to me. I don't know. It's really discouraging. I don't know. Good. No, it is not good. Thanks for bringing it up, though, Tony. That's awesome, man. Appreciate you. Thank you.
That's my nature.
I know it is. Let's go pee.
And I've already told you, I'm not scared to whip an old man. I've told you that before.
Well, you find an old man and maybe you can whip one. But I love you guys.
Well, I'm going to see you.
Thank you, boys.
Tony. Oh, he's beautiful. Love him. After the break, some thoughts on what you just heard, and who knows where that goes. David Cutcliffe at the top of the hour at 4 o'clock. from down in Birmingham. Stay tuned. This is the George Plaster Show.
When I got my first car, my dad told me, keep the gas tank full and my number on speed dial. Now parents are telling their kids, save 615-242-9000 just in case. I'm Blair Durham. If you or someone you love is in a wreck, call us. We're here to get you the money you deserve.
This is my buddy Stan Harrison from Apple Collision Centers. Recently, you've been talking to me about companies that have a fleet of trucks and they're always in need of repairs.
That's right, George. We understand that nobody likes to deal with the auto body repair process. We try to simplify that at our 3 convenient locations. We work with all major insurance companies. We help to ease the stress of the auto body repair process. We're located in Old Hickory, Hendersonville, and Gallatin. If you need our services, please stop by and see us.
And how convenient that we have that in the background. Now, seriously, these are good folks. They do really good work. Give them a holler. Sports and Social at Green Hills Mall is the new home for our Football Night in Nashville promotion. Their food is terrific. Their TV setup looks like a racing sports book in Vegas. And if you're a sports fan, you can't beat it. Starting September the 4th, we'll broadcast from Sports and Social every Thursday night. There's Pop-A-Shot, great football, and the chance to win a beautiful Mikey's Motors golf cart. See you at Sports and Social in Green Hills Mall. Venture Express has been helping people in this area for more than 40 years. They're headquartered in Murfreesboro with over 30 years of dedicated fleets involving production, manufacturing, and corrugated experiences. They're an asset-based company with over 700 tractors, 4,000 trailers, and 800 drivers. If you need their help, dial them up 615-793-9500 or log on to ventureexpress.com. Here's Officer Darren Hoskins for the Metro Nashville Police Department.
The Metro Nashville Police Department is on the forefront of policing in this century, and I'm glad I'm a part of it. I'm glad I get to find other good officers, other future good officers. And if you're watching today, or you yourself or someone you happen to know is interested, join mnpd.com. Feel free to reach out to us because we need good officers, and it's a great city to work for.
Show advertising family, it's simple. Just email me, plastergeorge@gmail.com. Again, plastergeorge@gmail.com. We will fit your budget and your needs.
A lot of people want to define teams by singular performances.
Sports. Did he not go back into the game after that interception?
Let's get this turned around. And we're all saying, no, they don't.
Here.
You thought you were on your way.
Your sports live here.
On ESPN 94.9.
And the Game Nashville Sports Network. It's the George Plaster Show.
Your sports live here on 94.9 The Fan.
Tomorrow you will hear from Vanderbilt football coach Clark Lee at 4 o'clock. But before we go there, let's go to Tennessee in the next 10 days because, yeah, it's East Tennessee State Saturday, and we're all of the same mindset, which is, okay, it's a tune-up. Georgia in Knoxville in a week and a half. So do you play the game differently Saturday as far as Aguilar and maybe get him out really early, not risk him getting hurt? Or do you say to yourself, he needs the reps? Kelly, what's the answer?
Well, that's a really good question, George. I think you want to give him some work, but I think you treat it like a preseason game. I really do. I think you give him some work, and maybe in the first half, and hopefully you're playing well and you score, and your defense is playing good, and they keep them out of the end zone, and you got things clicking on offense, and then you can get him out after the first half or out of whatever you've designated to. But I think you kind of treat it like a preseason game in the NFL. He's obviously going to get more reps than in a preseason game, but hopefully, sometimes some of these FCS schools are pretty good, and if you're not ready to play, they can hit you in the mouth and they can keep the game a little in the game a little longer than you would like as a coach. But I think you have to treat it that way. And I think you would want to get him in, get him some reps, get him another week with live bullets in the stadium around your fans, see what he can do, and then get him out.
Yeah, ETSU wasn't all bad last year. And we've seen them go into Knoxville and compete and show some fight. And there was – what was who's the coach? Was it Austin Peay? It might have actually been Austin Peay who came into Knoxville a couple years back, and it was a way closer game than a lot of people expected. Who knows about this ETSU team? But yeah, I'm with you, Kelly. You've got to get him reps, but you've also got Georgia coming to town. You don't want him taking any hits he shouldn't take, and so you've got to kind of walk that line if you're Heupel. But Aguilar, to me, George, has a little bit of Diego Pavia in him, where he's bigger than Pavia, and he's a different type of player. But the way this team has rallied around him, and it's just one game, so they've got a lot more to go throughout the season. But I noticed the team rallied around him and played with a lot of energy and passion. I mean, you didn't see that type of leadership a whole lot from Nico last year. And the fact that he just went in there and slinging it, I mean, I was really impressed.
So, Kelly, let me start this one with you. What did you see from him Saturday that you said, okay, this is not just a nice high performance. This is who he really is for real?
Well, George, we've already talked about when he first came, the confidence that he has. He's got some eluding confidence that everybody just sees. And I don't think Nico brought that. I really don't. I just think guys, sometimes it's like the Baker Mayfield effect. When guys love playing for a guy, it's different. It's totally different. I don't think they had that last year. I really don't. So I just felt the confidence in him. And I think what I said to Tony earlier was people don't realize how much Josh Heupel likes to run the football. That's really what his offense is doing. He likes to run the football. And when Joel Klatt brought up that stat, I was like, that's kind of crazy to me. I think that's who it was. But like 2,500 rushing yards every year that he's been there, that's pretty good. And that's really having a commitment to the run. And maybe not a Hendon Hooker. He may be Hendon Hooker. I don't know. But like I think Josh Heupel does a good job of putting his quarterbacks in good situations where they can be successful, like safe throws, some play action stuff. If you really get to running the football, and if you get to running the football like they did the other day, and Tony talked about their offensive line, I thought they were physical as well. So if you can do that and you had established that in a run, and then you start getting those linebackers to come up, and maybe you can get another safety to come up, and then you start play actioning, and that gives you more holes to throw in and more opportunities to get the ball downfield. And I think, like Tony said, he had to go out and get somebody. It wasn't one of it, but he had to go out and get Joey Aguilar, and now he fits this. And I don't think they put too much pressure on him. And I think we've talked about his interceptions, but this offense, and if they can keep doing what they're doing and he can stay, he doesn't turn the ball over, they can have a really good year, George. I really think that.
I know Braylon Staley had the deep ball and Brazel played well, but those Tennessee running backs, that stable of backs really impressed me too, with Star Thomas and Deshaun Bishop. Peyton Lewis is really good too. 8 carries, 38 yards, but he's just as good as the other two guys too. And that offensive line Tony mentioned with Pendleton at center, we'll see if they keep it that way, whether or not David Sanders comes back, the young freshman 5-star. Heupel just finds a way. Really, no matter who he has, he's got a high floor with his offense. And I'll admit, I was proven wrong a little bit about what Tennessee could do in one game. I mean, they put up 45 points. Yeah, this Syracuse defense isn't great, and I'll be interested to see what Syracuse turns into this season. But that running game, that's what really impressed me too.
What's the Tennessee-Georgia line?
Georgia by 2.5, 3.
That's kind of what I think.
Do you really? I think it's 6.5 at least.
I could see it being a little bit higher. Yeah. Although we'll see. I mean, Georgia, like after what Tennessee did to Syracuse, do some bettors change their mind? Does that line shift a little bit?
Here's the thing. Georgia steamrolling Marshall doesn't tell us a ton.
Yeah.
It really doesn't.
Kirby Smart has a way of rallying his guys Tennessee week and playing well no matter what he's got. So that will probably factor into this too, his success against Tennessee.
After the break, we'll have stat of the day where I'm apparently no longer needed because Kelly is the man. 2 out of 4.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
That's right. That's right.
And then the debut of David Cutcliffe, who will be with us every Tuesday. This man is a great interview. You will learn a lot from him. This is the George Plaster Show.
At Electronic Express, we're making it easy to save big this Labor Day with up to 40% off TVs, computers, appliances, mattresses, furniture, and more. And the more you buy, the more you save, with up to $1,200 in additional savings on trusted brands like LG, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, and Samsung. Shopping local comes with perks like free delivery and up to 24 months of interest-free financing. Visit us in-store or online at electronicexpress.com. We've got that.
Arthritis and rheumatic conditions are leading causes of disabilities among adults. Joint replacement could be the solution. The team at Houston Clinic Orthopedics approaches each case with a complete evaluation to see if surgery is right for you. Houston Clinic Orthopedics specializes in arthritis, hip, knee, and shoulder replacements, hip fractures, osteoarthritis of the hip, and joint pain. To experience world-class orthopedic care and see a list of all physicians, visit their website at tn.houston.com and book your appointment online today.
The wait is over. The largest sports book in Kentucky is now open at the Mint Gaming Hall, Kentucky Downs. Feel the rush of every play in a venue built for sports fans. Catch all your favorite games with an 80-foot screen, stadium-style seating, and live daily broadcasts from VSiN, the sports betting network. Plus, download the Circa Sports Kentucky mobile app today and start betting like a pro anywhere in Kentucky. The largest sports book in Kentucky, Circa Sports, is now open at the Mint Gaming Hall, Kentucky Downs.
Hello, everyone. This is Chris Eakes from Tennessee Prep Weekly, and we're back for another season of high school sports coverage. If you love high school sports, then 94.9 The Fan is the place to be. This year, the show airs on Monday nights at 6. We'll be covering your favorite players along with your favorite teams, just as we've done for the past 14 seasons. So you don't want to miss a moment. Make sure you join us for Tennessee Prep Weekly, brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office on Monday nights at 6, only on 94.9 The Fan.
Now, here's your latest Fox 17 Code Red weather report.
I'm Fox 17 meteorologist Greg Bobus. Scattered showers and thunderstorms continuing throughout the afternoon into this evening. A few of those could give us some decent downpours. And when it's not raining, partly to mostly cloudy with highs in the mid-80s.
Your sports live here on the Game Nashville Sports Network.
Your sports live here. WBUZ HD3 Laverne. All around the world on the Game Nashville app. We are the Game Nashville Sports Network, ESPN 94.9, The Fan, a Cromwell media station.
30 years of the best sports talk in Middle Tennessee. It's the George Plaster Show, featuring Tennessee Sports Hall of Famers Kelly Holcomb and young gun Billy Derrick. And now, here's your host, George Plaster.
David Cutcliffe coming up right here on the George Plaster Show. But first, stat of the day brought to you by Apple Collision Centers. You can find them in Old Hickory, Hendersonville, or Gallatin. Give them a call, 615-754-9800, or log on to their website. That's applecollisioncenters.com. All right, we'll see if Kelly can stay hot after a good week last week. We are going with little North Carolina. Bill Belichick's North Carolina defense last night allowed 48 points to TCU, the most ever by a Belichick-coached team. Whose record did TCU break?
Hold on, because I'm confused. Are you asking what team up until that time had scored the most points against Belichick?
Yep.
Okay. So we know, here's what we know, Kelly.
Yeah.
It's on the pro level.
It is on the pro level, correct. And I remember, golly, who was it? I can't remember. I'm not sure of the team that beat them really bad, but I think the Titans were in the mix. Maybe they played the Titans the next week.
Could it be Baltimore? Could it be San Diego? Hell, I don't know. I don't know.
Tennessee didn't beat them bad one year, did they, like that?
Not that I remember. Now, New England beat them one time, 59-0.
Is that what it was? Maybe that's what it was.
In the snow in Foxborough. Billy?
They had, hold on. Let's see this. Had 48, had it 40. Who's record? Oh, was it? Could it have been one of Peyton's teams, Indianapolis?
Let's go with that. Billy, show us Peyton Manning's Indianapolis Colts.
It is
Buffalo. Really?
Buffalo put 47 on him.
Yep.
Oh, that's when Brady was gone, though, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, that was a Josh Allen. Okay. That was a couple of years ago, yes.
That was the AFC wildcard game.
Oh, that's right.
47-17 in 2022.
That did not go well.
Wow. No, it did not.
Okay, so we're 0 for 1 for the week. But I'll tell you this, things are about to get really good on here, because when we were able to get David Cutcliffe, we got the cat daddy. He is as good an interview. If I take 35 years of sports talk radio, he is in the top three people that every time I have him on, it's a great interview. Let's say hello to him. David, how's that for blowing some smoke?
Wow, George. I mean, I can't live up to that, first of all, but thank you. Secondly, I think the person doing the interview makes that happen or not. The years that I've been doing this, I've had some bad interviews, but man, the only thing worse in the interview was the one doing the interviewing. So you're the top shelf. Okay, George. So let's get that straight on the front end.
Oh, bless your heart. Listen, flattery will get you everywhere. So
there you go, doesn't it?
Getting you on here gives us the opportunity to pick your brain about quarterback kind of stuff. And the first one I wanted to get to with you was Carson Beck, who I came away saying, wow, very impressed. Showed me a maturity that I'm not sure I'd seen before. How about you?
Well, I watched him practice in person quite a bit at Georgia. His ability to throw the football is outstanding. He's a smart young man. He really has studied the game. What people don't realize, what's been taken away from a lot of what we're doing this day and time, and he's one of those, is that things that are really hard in your life, and brought on in some ways by himself, things got really hard for that young man, and hard grows you like nothing else, absolutely like nothing else. And so I think he took all of the lessons learned and has applied them into how he prepares. And I don't know if you noticed in his comments, because I did watch the game, he talked about, he said the word his teammates maybe 20 times in different interviews. And for quarterbacks, my big two are this. First thing, number one of the big two, is be the very best teammate on that team, meaning you worry and care more about everybody else than you do yourself. That in itself becomes a stress reliever, but you celebrate their victories. You're there. And I'm not talking about taking them to dinner like you hear. I'm talking about every day be the best teammate on the team. And then he really kind of referenced this also. This was my take on it. The second thing of the big two is when we're little and we're going outside, we don't use the term, hey, let's go out and work some football. What do we say? Let's go out and play some ball. You got to play. It's a game. You got to play football. He was having fun playing football. Did you see him on the sideline? Did you ever see him like that earlier in his career?
Mm-mm.
And this is not pointing at Georgia. This is pointing at Carson's growth as an individual. I didn't see him always having fun at practice. The stress, the pressure of managing everything, managing your money, your time, your cars, your social life, let alone being a college athlete, time management class, all the things that we've always worried about them. So to me, it looks like Carson Beck found himself through something that was very difficult, very, very hard. It's not supposed to be easy, and he has benefited greatly from it.
David, I've heard all kinds of comments all over the map about Garrett Nussmeier. I've heard got great talent. I've heard other talking heads say he's an interception waiting to happen. But it sure felt to me Saturday night like he took a big step forward, and so did that team.
Well, the first time that I had a chance to see him in person was again at an LSU practice. And it's when they had the Heisman Trophy winner to be down there, which we all know he's an impressive athlete and a unique football player. But what I came away from that practice being impressed with is Garrett Nussmeier's ability to throw the ball and his work ethic. He wasn't a starter, but he practiced as if he was. I was really impressed with him, and that was 2 years ago. So he's had time to grow since that time, and I've always thought he's a really good football player. And again, the program seems to have taken a turn toward they're back playing football, not working football, if you understand what I mean by working football.
Yep.
You can't be tight and be as good as you can possibly be. And it's kind of like Michael Jordan used to talk about taking game winners. He said, I've missed more than I've made. Only ones we remember are the ones that he made. But if you're uptight, you're not going to make any of them. If you're worried about failing, you're not going to be a success. So, I think that's a little bit what I saw from the LSU team playing from behind much of the game, and they didn't change their temperament. I mean, they just kept playing, and then they're also pretty darn good on defense, by the way.
David, as you know, Kelly Holcomb is a part of this show. Could you have coached him?
Absolutely. Kelly was everything you wanted in a quarterback. He was that guy that would work, play, could throw it. And I hate to make it miserable for y'all, but Kelly, it's a fact. How hard did I recruit you?
I don't even remember that long ago, Coach. I'll be honest with you. It's been a long time.
Well, it has, but it's not for me. I don't forget any part of my career in recruiting. I may forget a play or two here and there, or even a game or two here and there. But, recruiting becomes, particularly for an assistant coach, as I was in that era, becomes personal. And, it is what it is. Never got really to first base as far as, being able to, quote, maybe sign you.
Well, tell me this, Coach, because we had Watson Brown on here a couple of weeks ago, and I've asked this question, and he brought this question up. But with all the transfer portal stuff that's going on, and it seems like I'm talking about this constantly, but it seems like quarterback is the one position where sometimes you have to put the brakes on and say, hey, if all these quarterbacks are moving every year, how can they be confident or how can they learn a system in such a short period of time? And we're talking about Joey Aguilar today with Tony Basilio, and he was there 100 days. And, he looked really good the other day. And I think Josh Heupel does a really good job of taking pressure off guys. But when you're having all these guys move around the country, Coach, like I remember me and Peyton learning that offense in Indianapolis. It took us a while to learn that offense. And I just don't think that these young quarterbacks can do that in the short amount of time that they're getting.
Absolutely correct statement. I see it in practices. First of all, if you're not 100% where your feet are, you just mentioned being in Indy, you knew that's where you were. You were all in.
Yep.
We have guys that come in, and in the back of their mind somewhere, they're saying, well, my representative tell me if I'm not first or second by such and such a date, I need to be looking. That's not the way you become great. You have to, first of all, be there, be where your feet are, totally committed to what you're doing. So that part holds them back. And then when you never commit to being coached, and I'm not throwing any coach under the bus, but I don't see things taught quite with the detail. And I'm not sure they really think they're going to have a guy very long. So they don't dive into all of it like what we used to. I'm big on teaching how or what when it comes to coaching a quarterback, and I coach them from the neck up and the neck down, and equally as important, those neck down fundamentals. But the neck up, they have to learn more than how or what to do with their body and their mind. They have to know why. I'm not seeing why taught. So if I know why I'm doing this on this coverage or doing this on this play, then I can adjust on the run. I can be creative within the system. You need to know why. I couldn't coach today because nobody wants to dive into that. It makes, I walk away from practices irritable. And I'll get in the car traveling to the next place or whatever. My wife said, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "I just couldn't take this, And I'm sorry, but I think what we're doing, the system that's in place, I don't know every legal answer, and I don't know, every fiscal issue that's involved with all of this. But I learned right from wrong starting in the 1950s, and you know what? Right and wrong can't be changed. And we're doing too many of the wrong things to young people, not just quarterbacks. But that's a fact, Kelly, what you just said. So keep saying it and talk about it all you want, because you're not wrong.
Well, here's another thing, and I just want to elaborate on kind of what you said, because me as a quarterback, and I guess I'm a little bit jealous because I was not that guy. I had to work, and I got taught the game by my coaches, my high school coach, and then my college coaches here at Middle. But these young quarterbacks nowadays, I get so. When I'm watching a game, I told George yesterday when he called me yesterday, and I told him some of that stuff is getting unwatchable to me, because you've got all these athletes, and I understand they're athletes, but like you got Lenore Sellers, and he can throw the ball some, but like you got the Castellanos kid from Florida State. You got all these guys that are runners, and it just bogs my mind. And I used the example years ago. Chan Gailey was I think he was in Buffalo, and he told somebody, because I played at Buffalo, and he told somebody, he said, "I cannot believe I'm having to teach a college quarterback how to take a snap under center." And nowadays, these pro coaches are going to get these guys that don't know how to read a defense. The coach is telling them, "Hey,
right.
the coach is telling them, hey, this is your first read. If you don't have him, take off running." And it's wearing me out, and it's becoming unwatchable to me. Now, it may be fun for the fans, but a person like myself and you who know knows how to play the game and to understand a quarterback has to, at some point, like a Lamar Jackson, he had to learn the game. He was great physically, but now he can throw the ball from the pocket. And at some point, you got to do that. And it's becoming unwatchable to me. And I don't know where it's going, but it seems like this is getting worse and worse each year we go about it.
Well, to interject this, just because I'm proud of him, you realize how much better Lamar's played the last 2 years?
Absolutely.
T. Martin suddenly is quarterback coach. T, when he got elevated to quarterback coach, made a huge difference. He and I still talk quite a bit. And Lamar, when we played them at Louisville, it was interesting. One thing I knew about him, he was humble, and his best friends were the guys in the equipment room. What does that tell you? He's the right kind of person, which still matters as well. So other than when we played him when I was at Duke, I've pulled for him. But it's an injustice. You know this. You got a pre-snap read, and then you have a post-snap read, and then you have to have an alarm, and you got to do things on time. Now, I will say this. Given if you got an athlete and this is the route you go, you do this. You go 1, 2, go, and that still means an alarm. You don't want them to get too cute with the ball in the pocket or hesitate at all too much. So there are ways to try to win games differently than you and I would choose to do it. Not to say that some of those guys aren't great mentally. I'm impressed with Sellers, and I've been around him in meetings, and he dives into it. Just so you know. Again, there's a lot of ways to skin a cat. So I'm certainly not being critical of any athleticism that comes with a quarterback. But what I see are sacks taken that don't need to be taken, or throws made on a fourth down that you're like, oh my gosh, give yourself a chance, or even third down where they go with the ball. And that is an injustice, not just to the quarterback, but to the teammates. You have to give yourself a chance to be successful strategically. And so when I'm watching them, run out of bounds on fourth down short of a stick, I'm like, what did you just do? You couldn't play for me. You would just keep running on to the locker room because there's no reason to come back. So anyway, I see it.
Billy, you've never dealt with Coach Cutcliffe before, have you?
Well, we had him on at Media Days a couple of years back.
Okay.
And I got to meet him there. But, Coach.
You get one question, make it the best question of your life.
All right. Well, I was looking forward to asking him about this, and I'm going to probably go ahead and get this one out of the way because I know we'll have him on each week. With Diego Pavia coming in for a second season at Vanderbilt, we saw what happened last year, beating Alabama. Had a good game on Saturday. They got Virginia Tech this week. How would you describe the impact that he's had on Vanderbilt's program, not just offensively, but throughout the belief of the entire program and their fan base?
I love the question because I love what they're doing there. Jerry Kill is a long-time friend, and Clark Lee's one of my favorite current coaches in America, and Tim, all of them. And then when I go up and watch practice, I'll say a word or two to Diego. And I mean, what he is able to do, what I love, is that he makes every snap in practice like a game. It's intense. He brings intensity with him. The competitiveness between their offense and defense in every drill is intense. That's how you become better. I hate the term, George. I'll say this for you and Billy. I hate the term, well, let's go out there and get better today. It's not one day at a time. It's one drill, one snap at a time, and you better get better every one of those, or you're not nearly as good as you could have been at the end of the day. What he does is it's every snap he's competing. Every snap is making it like a game. It reminds me of some of the guys that I've been fortunate to coach. And when you do that, you're reaching what is truly your very best self, the best version, the best quarterback version of yourself. You're able to reach it from that perspective. And I from the first time I saw him, and I'm like, what? And then, of course, coaches told me, just how good he had played for them. And I just think it's been awesome to watch. And I wish them all the luck this year moving forward. I've become buddies with Coach Lee's dad, Dr. Lee, and I go up there and see him at practice. And, I know all my Tennessee friends will be mad at me, but I just become fans of people, And so we have a good time when we go to Vanderbilt's practices, and they practice very well.
David, this is awesome stuff. Remember, the key word today is Ha-Seong Kim.
Ha-Seong Kim.
Yeah, did you see my message earlier today?
You know what? I saw it, but briefly. I've been in meetings all day about officiating, George, so I'm miserable.
So
Hold on. Let me see it. Let me go look right now. I'm going to put you on speaker just for a second.
Yes. For those who don't know, David Cutcliffe is a big Braves fan. And he and I had so much fun 2 years ago.
I'm reading it now. Let's go, shortstop.
Yes.
Did they sign him?
They have got him. They are agreeing to pay $16 million a year from now. This guy can play. I'm fired up.
Now, you have made my day. I didn't know. I didn't have any idea that they had claimed him and willing to pay. But I did say this to my wife when I was watching the Braves and Phillies briefly on television. I said, I don't know if I could watch this. I'm sorry. I hate to be called a fair weather fan, but I like good baseball.
And it has been very good.
We have been truly spoiled. I go all the way back with George. I used to listen. I'd go in person and watch Greg Maddox pitch. And until you were close enough to hear what he was saying to batters and people, was it fun. He could have been a middle linebacker or a quarterback, either one, and he'd have been good at both.
Oh, man. Hey, thank you for doing this. Talk to you next Tuesday.
Yep. Y'all have a great rest of your day. And, week 2, here we go.
Bring it on. Thanks, David. He's the best. He is one of my all-time favorites. And I'm thrilled that we have pulled this off to get him on each week because you're going to learn stuff. After the break, Kelly's top 12 in college football. Suddenly, he doesn't feel very confident about it.
I really don't.
I'm going to tell you what's going on at Alabama. The plaster theory that you're going to say. What are they going to say, Kelly?
They're going to say, why is it the plaster theory? Because plasters he didn't even want to get hit in 5th grade. So why is he making the theory? That's what they're saying.
By the way, you're right. I didn't want to get hit. That's why I went to basketball. Football, you people are stupid. Either play 2-hand touch or we're not getting hit. Okay. And then we'll open the phones around 4:35. This is the George Plaster Show.
When I got my first car, my dad told me, keep the gas tank full and my number on speed dial. Now parents are telling their kids, save 615-242-9000 just in case. I'm Blair Durham. If you or someone you love is in a wreck, call us. We're here to get you the money you deserve.
A golf cart from Mikey's Motors is the perfect way to get around this summer. Whether you're going to the park, the pool, or the playground, do it in a brand new golf cart from Mikey's Motors, Franklin and Murfreesboro.
Summertime fun in Tennessee. That's what we sell at Mikey's Motors. Come see how we roll.
It's easy to say good things about the folks at Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers. Number one, I trust them with something that's near and dear to me, the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night. But more importantly, I see the fun people have. They enjoy the bowling. They enjoy the camaraderie, and you will too. Come by any of their locations and get ready to have some fun.
Convenience and value, two words that we expect when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to deliver just that, both to our school partners and to our customers. Whether you're purchasing photos, yearbooks, class jewelry, letter jackets, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience easy, convenient, and cost-effective. Find out more at jhacompany.com or call 615-867-6345 for more information. JHA, one source, one company.
If you are paying too much for your health insurance, you know what? You need to contact the folks at Pancoast Benefits. Pancoast works with businesses and individuals to tackle the high cost of health insurance. Whether you're a business owner, large or small, self-employed, between jobs, or over the age of 65 and in need of a Medicare plan, Pancoast can help. They make understanding your benefits less difficult and more personal. So check them out today. PancoastBenefits.com or call them at 615-292-3400. Are you looking for expert medical care in Nashville without leaving your home? Medical House Calls brings concierge-level health care directly to your door. Whether you need urgent attention, ongoing primary care, revitalizing IV therapy, or medically guided weight loss, our experienced providers are just a phone call away at 615-838-2375 or go online, medicalhousecalls.com. Primary care, revitalizing IV therapy, or medically guided weight loss, our experienced providers are just a phone call away at 615-838-2375 or go online, medicalhousecalls.com.
It's the George Plaster Show. Your sports live here on 94.9 The Fan.
It is time to release Kelly Holcomb's first top 12 of the year.
Here we go.
A poll
Here we go.
that is probably useless, but we're doing it anyway.
It is useless. It's useless to me right now.
Is it?
Because I've changed it. Yeah, I've changed it.
Well, what in the world? I mean, stick to your guns.
That goes against the Geneva Convention.
It really does. I mean,
well, you asked me to do it, and I can change. You didn't tell me I couldn't.
No, but let's hear what you got.
Man, after watching this weekend and thinking about it, Ohio State's number one, obviously. I don't know how good they are on offense. I think they'll probably get better, but they got a young kid starting. I think defensively, man, when you hold Texas on the 1 yard line 5 plays in a row and don't let them get into the end zone, that's stout. So
that's
obviously they're number one. Yeah, obviously they're number one. I'm not sure that LSU's not the second best team in the country. What do y'all think?
I'm with you. I was going to say I'd put LSU a little bit higher. I was really impressed.
I would, and the one reason why I'm going there is because of Garrett Nussmeier. I mean, you got Gunnar Stockton at Georgia, who's never really played. So I would put LSU at number 2, and then Georgia at number 3, and then I would probably put Penn State at number 4.
So
I would keep them
on the screen. You have totally annihilated.
Totally annihilated. Yes.
Okay.
It's my prerogative. You asked me. So
okay. It's America.
I think Penn State would probably be number 4. Number 5, I would probably go with Oregon. I don't know much about Oregon. other than the fact that Mike Gundy called him out for all the money that they're having to pay
Yeah.
this year. I don't know if y'all saw that. Did you see that, Billy?
I did.
I don't know if I would be saying that before I played them. And then Mike Gundy says, well, I think all these non-conference games should be scheduled with teams that are on the same payroll scale. So that's kind of the only thing I know about Oregon, that they've been consistent here the last several years. Then I think Miami would probably be the next. I was really impressed with Miami. George, you talked about Carson Beck, but their offensive line, man, are some movers. And I thought they dominated Alabama the other day, and you don't ever see that. And let's just go on another little tangent here. Like, I've been talking about Alabama, and I thought that Kalen DeBoer, and I don't know, but I had somebody tell me the other day, Kalen DeBoer took Washington, he went to the West Coast, he took them to the national championship game, but he's more of a finesse guy. And in the SEC, we all know this, the teams that looked really good the other day were really physical up front, and they were not physical. And that's just not what you think about a Miami team or a Alabama team. And I just thought they just did not look good. So I would go Miami. And then, man, I thought about it, and Texas is probably up there. They're probably better than Florida State. But what Florida State did the other night, they totally dominated Alabama. So I'd probably put them there, and then I'd go Texas, Clemson, Notre Dame, Michigan, and then Oklahoma at the end.
Does Oklahoma
I totally screw that.
To be there yet?
I don't know, and that's another one. That's another one where I was thinking I'm not sure, but I think the Mateer guy gives them a new. I think he gives them a new look. I'm not sure if they deserve to be there. I was really impressed with Notre Dame the other night because I think Marcus Freeman has gotten those guys mentally and physically tough. I really do. And they had to go down to Miami, and I think Miami's beaten them at home the last 5 times, if I'm not mistaken on that. But I just thought with the C.J. Carr kid, I think he kind of fits Marcus Freeman's personality, and I really like them. I think Billy's team will probably make the playoffs. I don't know about Clemson, man. What did y'all think about Clemson the other night?
Clemson. The thing with Clemson right now, they are in all these. They're in games against the elites. You saw last year against Texas, but they are just a full step behind in terms of talent. That they can be right there. And Dabo, I don't know if you saw this clip too that went viral, Kelly. He said, "Hey, this is like taking an exam on the first day of class. Neither one of us were very good. LSU got a 63. We got a 58." I don't think it was even that close. I thought LSU had some missed opportunities there, and that could have been a 2-score win, I think, for LSU. But Clemson's just a little bit behind.
As that game went along, LSU got stronger and stronger, and Clemson.
Yep.
Now, you want the Alabama theory?
I want to ask y'all one more thing. What do y'all think about Texas? I mean, everybody was harping on Arch the other day. That was his first real test against a really good defense. And I think he's got some things to improve on, obviously. I'm sure he's feeling the pressure right now at the University of Texas, but I think they'll be there at the end, don't y'all?
Yeah. I do. I think they're fine. That play calling looked very different than a lot of their games last year, though. I mean, they ran the ball a ton, and they didn't run Arch. They didn't really. You go back and watch that game, and I don't blame them. This is game 1. You need him healthy, and so maybe you see them run Arch a little bit later in the season. They didn't run him the way they did last year, and he was, man, his mechanics looked way off, and I'd like to have somebody on from Texas to talk about that. Like, what did you see from him and his mechanics? Because it looked off.
Well, when he bounced the first throw of the game, I wonder if that stopped his deodorant from working.
Yeah, and that Ohio State D-line, that they were coming after him.
Yeah, this is not UL Monroe that they played. Sorry, Kelly.
The other thing I wanted to mention was about Miami. You said you liked Miami, Kelly. You mentioned their offense. That D-line, that's the best Miami D-line has looked in a long time. I think that they had those last couple of sacks there to end the game. Notre Dame's offense didn't have a chance. They didn't have a prayer. Lord, hear our prayer. But they got after him. Ruben Bain, and that's a different looking Miami defensive line than we're used to.
typical Miami in that the crowd shows up in huge numbers for the big game.
Yeah.
And then they get, I don't know, whoever, San Jose State, and, you could fire a gun in there and not hit anybody.
By the way,
it's one of the strange things about their program.
Do we need to check on Michael Irvin?
Oh, my God.
I thought he was going to pass out or something. They kept going to him on the side. I was like, what?
Okay, here we go with the theory. Kelly, so this man walks in and he knows he's got big shoes to fill. He's heard all the, you don't want to be the one replacing the legend, you want to be the one after the one. But what he really heard a lot of when he got there was Nick Saban was a butthole. We didn't like Saban. He was rough on us. And so I think this guy decided to go the other way. And he's been kind of a softy since he's been there. And these kids have viewed him almost like we used to view the substitute teacher. Oh, Mrs. Foster isn't here this week. Let's find out what this dodo is all about. And I think basically, you think about this. When Nick Saban was at Alabama, in games that they got beat, you knew you were going to have to survive a storm to beat them. Florida State didn't have to survive squat. You hear these stories about Alabama players ordering from DoorDash at 2:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they'd have done that under Nick Saban? They're viewing this guy as the substitute teacher, and they have walked all over him, and he better get his head out of the clouds or he'll be back on the West Coast by about December.
Did y'all see that stat where when Alabama was picked by 14 points or more, Nick Saban was 133-2, and Kalen DeBoer is 4-4 in his second year as the head coach of Alabama? So that kind of shows you. And George is that true? Because I heard that today. I mean, somebody called in on the Paul Feinbaum show the other day talking about the DoorDash and talking about they're showing up late for meetings and showing up late for the bus and their girlfriends are coming up. I mean, if that's what's going on, I mean, you can tell it on the field because that's not the Alabama team that you're used to seeing. Those guys were not, they didn't give much effort. I've never seen guys, when a runner is going and guys just give up and not go get him. I've never, ever seen that before with a Nick Saban coach team and an Alabama team. And if that's going on, golly, man, that's like the Mike Shula, all those. Yeah, that was a bad time in Alabama football. And if that's going on and they don't do something about it quick, Alabama football is going to be the same way under this guy.
The guy under the gun now is Greg Byrne.
Mm-hmm.
Greg Byrne is the one that hired him. Greg Byrne is the one that gave him this massive contract where the buyout,
$70 million.
Is Jimbo Fisher-like.
You can thank Jimmy Sexton for that.
Yeah. But you know what? Alabama shouldn't have to do that.
Well, they were desperate.
Why?
Because they had struck out on 3 guys. We talked about Norvell didn't want it. Lanning didn't want it. There were a couple other guys they went after. And here's DeBoer. We got it. Well, we got to get this guy out. Who else? I mean, at this point, how are we going to go below DeBoer? And, I keep looking back the timing of when Nick Saban retired. It's never going to be easy for Alabama.
That was tough. Yeah.
It was never going to be easy for an Alabama coach. And guys, the thing that surprises me the most is that from game 1, it looked no different than a lot of last season.
It really did.
The same defensive. What defense are they running? I mean, Florida State ran right through them. The same thing Vandy did, up and down the field. And so that's what surprised me the most, that it didn't look any different than the Alabama of last year.
The fact that it's late August and now we've gotten into September, but at the very beginning of the season, the fact that the grumbling has turned loud
is not pretty.
Is a bad sign for him. He better start cracking the whip. I would assume that he's done that, but I would have assumed this a year ago. And instead, they're viewing him as the substitute teacher. Let's see how far we can push. And how far can they push? They're ordering DoorDash.
You know what? Another thing that I was thinking about the other night was the NIL. And all these kids from Alabama are getting these big contracts. They're getting paid. And they look like, I'm getting my money. I'm not going to put forth much effort. That's kind of what it looked like to me the other night.
Okay, we're going to open up the phones. And I know we've had some issues. Hopefully we have gotten those taken care of. As I understand it, we got 4 lines in this new system. So if you get a scenario where you didn't get your call answered, try it again a few minutes later at 615-759-9949. Again, 615-759-9949. We'll take your phone calls next. This is the George Plaster Show.
When I got my first car, my dad told me, keep the gas tank full and my number on speed dial. Now parents are telling their kids, save 615-242-9000 just in case. I'm Blair Durham. If you or someone you love is in a wreck, call us. We're here to get you the money you deserve.
Star Physical Therapy was established in 1997 with one great mission: to serve. If you're hurting, don't wait to receive physical therapy. You don't need a referral to see their physical therapist, and early morning and evening appointments are available. Make the call to 615-673-1420 and get rid of that pain. Star Physical Therapy, the official health provider of Football Friday.
Nashville Sounds Baseball is back in Hit City for the 2025 season. Create a summer of memories at the ballpark with weekly giveaways, fireworks shows, and more. Tickets are on sale now.
Sports and Social in Green Hills Mall is the new home for our Football Night in Nashville promotion. Their food is terrific. Their TV setup looks like a racing sports book in Vegas. And if you're a sports fan, you can't beat it. Starting September the 4th, we'll broadcast from Sports and Social every Thursday night. There's Pop-A-Shot, great football, and the chance to win a beautiful Mikey's Motors golf cart. See you at Sports and Social in Green Hills Mall. Here's Officer Darren Hoskins for the Metro Nashville Police Department.
The Metro Nashville Police Department is on the forefront of policing in this century, and I'm glad I'm a part of it. I'm glad I get to find other good officers, other future good officers. And if you're watching today, or you yourself or someone you happen to know is interested, join mnpd.com. Feel free to reach out to us because we need good officers, and it's a great city to work for.
Physical Therapy, the official health provider of Football Friday.
Two total screw-ups of humongous proportions.
Sports. We're not living in an era where perfection is necessary.
They thought they were a championship contending team.
Here, we told you not to do this. Your sports live here.
On ESPN 94.9.
And the Game Nashville Sports Network. It's the George Plaster Show. Your sports live here on 94.9 The Fan.
Okay, time to take a few phone calls on a busy Tuesday. Wednesday will be the same. Mike Organ from the Tennessean, Vanderbilt football coach Clark Lee, and then Terry McCormick with some extended Titans coverage. Here we go. Eric, line one, welcome.
First of all, George, I hope you and Kelly and Billy all had a great Labor Day holiday.
I had a really good
Thanks,
one.
brother.
Thank you. Hope
Appreciate
you did too.
It was awesome.
Yeah. It was pretty good. George, a couple of college football things, and I was going to talk about the Michael Parsons trade. First of all, George, here's another thing. I don't know if you saw this. You talked about Nick Saban. Another interesting stat they threw out. Kelly was talking about 2 touchdowns or more. Nick Saban against unranked opponent. I saw the record. He was 124-4. Kalen DeBoer 6-4. And of course, one of the losses that Nick Saban had, I think it was the first year, was U of L Monroe, who Alabama plays this weekend.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, Kalen DeBoer's only got to go 118-0 to match what Saban did.
And I don't think they will fire him because of the buyout. They don't want to make that buyout that now. But another thing, George, you talk about Alabama player that had a concussion, but there was another thing that was kind of sad after the victory. I guess the Florida State player got shot. I think it was either his family's home or relative's home that was nearby the campus. Have you heard updates how he's doing? I didn't know who it was, but you heard about that?
I think he's in stable condition. I
yeah.
think critical but stable condition is what I heard today on ESPN.
Yeah. That's just a real shame. And because you were talking about the Mike Van Gundy thing, and I thought it was kind of hilarious, but the coach for UT Martin wasn't complaining about that when he lost 27-7 to him Saturday. I think, got a feeling Dan Lanning is going to run up the score. They're favored by 28 points. Yeah, he commented on that. Yeah, it's like, why are you worried about that? And don't you have boosters that can pay all this stuff? I mean, why should you be worried about that? It's unfortunate whether you like it or not. It's the time we're living in. So I just kind of thought that was hilarious. And
if I was Lanning, I would have said, and I don't like your mullet.
Hey guys, the last thing that I'll talk about, I'll let you get to Tony and those. I'm just messing with you. Tony knows I love him, but I love his calls. But hey guys, the thing about the Michael Parsons trade is a lot of people were kind of surprised that Jerry Jones, if he was going to do this, actually Colin Cowherd approved of the trade. He said that if it was him, he would have done it either last year or at least done it early in the season where you could have possibly gotten more, or done it to AFC instead of Green Bay, which they're going to be facing, of course, the 4th week in the season, because you could have got more value. A lot of people believe that Jerry really didn't want to pay him, that he was really doing this the whole thing agents because he was looking to move off of him and get out of his contract so he could try and get draft picks so he could move on towards the future, because he thought definitely with the contract, him signing him to the big contract, because Jerry unfortunately does things at the last minute. He kind of deliberately handcuffed himself, because for a businessman, he may be smart at making deals and everything, but he's sure not smart with making contracts, because he could have signed Parsons earlier. He could have signed CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott earlier, but he waited to where he got hamstrung instead of taking care of doing preemptive strike. I mean, and that's on him. I just don't understand it. And guys, I just want to get your thoughts on that. It's always good to talk to you guys. Y'all take care. We'll talk to you again soon.
I totally agree.
In a quick phrase, he's become Al Davis at the end.
I totally agree. Yeah, I totally agree with Eric, man. He always waits, and then, the only reason you do that is because he's becoming a headache for you, and you just get rid of him. Like, he's the best defensive player in the National Football League.
In a defense that a year ago sucked.
Yes.
Yep. Bob in Nashville, you are up next. Welcome.
Good afternoon. I have a question for you guys. You all have much more interaction with college athletes than obviously most people. My suspicion is that because of the day and age in which we live, loyalty to the schools where they play is rapidly deteriorating. Is that an accurate suspicion
It's
on
not,
my part?
Bob, it's not rapidly deteriorating. It's gone, brother.
That's what I'm afraid
It's
of.
gone.
That's the reason. Yeah, that's the reason. Like schools that have players, and this is their 3rd or 4th school. That to me, that's the reason that I don't watch college sports anymore. Y'all read the accounts in the news and whatnot, but I'm really disillusioned by it. I just how would you talk me back into watching it? Because I'm really really fed up with it. I'm really disappointed that the loyalty to the school has completely gone out the window.
The only thing I would say is you almost have to separate how the sausage is made now from the actual Saturday of college football. Even this system can't screw up the Saturday of college football, but boy, it has screwed up the other 6 days.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of people that like you, Bob, don't watch or pay attention throughout the week and pay attention to a lot of the off-field stuff. But it's Saturday. Saturday comes, they'll tailgate, they'll go to the game and watch their team and talk about it with their friends. But all the extracurricular stuff they could do without.
Yeah, see, I'm in the category of I don't even go to the games or watch them anymore. And I just, and I know it was naive to think that the typical student athlete was the same as the person you're sitting next to in biology class, et cetera. But I mean, that's totally, gone out. I feel the same way about professional baseball. It's just really soured, and I'm a positive person, but I just wanted y'all's take on it. Thank you.
Thank you for the call. Hope you'll keep listening. Tony in Nolensville. Tony, I got about 3 minutes. Do your best.
I got you, buddy. Bob, I'm right there with you. I've talked about this before on this show, but what still holds us all going back to Syracuse, Georgia, like y'all just touched on it, the pageantry of college football. I love using that word, the pageantry, because that's what it is with the bands and all the glitter that comes around college football. No other sport is like it. So that's the way I feel. And mentioning that, guys, Kelly, I went down and watched the Governors whip that butt of the Blue Raiders.
Yeah, and way to go, Tony.
Tony Basilio brought it up. I said, well, there's the thunder. I'm going to bring the lightning. Guys, let me tell you this. Austin Peay looked like a polished team compared to Middle in their whiteout. They held Middle, George, to minus 12 yards in the second half. And that's rushing yards. They held Middle to 153 total yards, minus 12 rushing yards in the second half, and only 44 for the game. And to cap it off, the defense held Middle to 0 for 12 on third downs. Derek Mason is in trouble, guys. I don't know what the answer is, but he's in trouble down there. Those players didn't look coached up or nothing at all. They really looked like they looked like the FCS team, and Austin Peay looked like the FBS team. That's what it looked like. And it was really, really unbelievable. And George, on a baseball note, something happened yesterday. Is the first time it's happened this year. PK Crow Armstrong, laid down a 2-strike bunt single against your Braves. I don't know if you saw that.
Thank God
the first one this year.
Wow.
What?
Thank God I didn't, because you're right. It's become nobody bunts with 2 strikes anymore, because if you bunt foul, it's an automatic strikeout. Interesting stat. I had not heard that.
And that was the first one laid down this year in all of Major League Baseball, a 2-strike bunt. So I didn't know if you saw that a little bit yesterday. So, but Kelly, I just, good luck to the Blue Raiders. I do like Derek Mason, but they've got a lot of work they've got to do down there. They've got a lot of work to do. And, I think Austin Peay, we know they're going to get hammered this weekend against Georgia, but they did look like they had a pretty good football team offensively. Kelly, with Chris Parsons running the show, that played at Ravenwood, transferred from Mississippi State. Guys, that's the biggest word I heard all weekend, transfer. Talk to you. Hope you get another call in, George. Thank you.
Thanks. Wish we could, but we can't. We got to go to the break. Plaster Bet of the Day is coming up next, so stay tuned.
At Electronic Express, we're making it easy to save big this Labor Day with up to 40% off TVs, computers, appliances, mattresses, and everything you need for outdoor entertaining. For a limited time, when you buy 2 or more qualifying LG appliances, you'll get a free 65-inch smart TV. Plus, shopping local comes with perks like free delivery and up to 24 months of interest-free financing. Visit us in-store or online at electronicexpress.com. We've got that.
Wait is over. The largest sports book in Kentucky is now open at the Mint Gaming Hall, Kentucky Downs. Feel the rush of every play in a venue built for sports fans. Catch all your favorite games with an 80-foot screen, stadium-style seating, and live daily broadcasts from VSiN, the sports betting network. Plus, download the Circa Sports Kentucky mobile app today and start betting like a pro anywhere in Kentucky. The largest sports book in Kentucky, Circa Sports, is now open at the Mint Gaming Hall, Kentucky Downs.
Announcing an event for everyone who's been thinking about adopting a lovable little puppy. This is your opportunity to adopt a puppy, and Pella Windows and Doors will cover all your adoption fees and the first immunizations. Join us Saturday, September 13th at Pella Windows and Doors in Hendersonville on East Main Street. This event is from 10 a.m. to noon, and you could pick out your adorable new puppy on site with the Nashville Humane Association. That's Saturday, September 13th at Pella Windows and Doors in Hendersonville. See you there.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Football and Fireball is a match made in heaven. And by heaven, of course, we mean Twin Peaks. Spice things up next game day with a shot of our favorite cinnamon whiskey. Twin Peaks in Cool Springs and Madison.
Now, here's your latest Fox 17 Code Red weather report.
On Fox 17 meteorologist Greg Bobus, scattered showers and thunderstorms continuing throughout the afternoon into this evening. A few of those could give us some decent downpours. And when it's not raining, partly to mostly cloudy with highs in the mid-80s.
Your sports live here on the Game Nashville Sports Network.
Final segment on a Tuesday after Labor Day, Reaction Tuesday. A lot of reaction from the college football weekend, but tonight we got to reset the week for Bet of the Day. Take a look at how Derek Bet of the Day went, and
oh, good Lord!
I regret to inform you,
it was wow.
It was ugly. Lost with Texas, lost with South Dakota, lost with Alabama, lost with Notre Dame. I've got
Billy. Billy, what are you doing? I told you the other day I wanted you to go undefeated so you can throw it up in George's face and say, this is not that tough, George.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Well, 3-6, Billy? That sucks.
That's just the same as George's first weekend.
Oh,
so
gosh.
we're 0 for a combined 7 to start the football season.
We don't need that smiley face thing like that in there. For those who are on radio, ignore it. We got a winner tonight. This is obviously a slow evening after a big football weekend. We're going to take the San Diego Padres. They lost at home last night to Baltimore. They will rebound this evening in their battle to try to get into the playoffs, whether it be as division champion or more likely as a wild card. Tomorrow on the show, Mike Organ from the Tennessean, Vanderbilt football coach Clark Lee at 4 o'clock, and then Terry McCormick at 4:20. We'll take some phone calls and get you ready for the Titans season opener in Denver. Kelly, even though you did not miss me,
I didn't at all.
I'm back.
And you know what I'm going to say? Good luck with your bet tonight.
Yeah, whatever.
I hope it don't go right for you.
Good luck to you as well.
We need a win on the board. Let's get something up.
Yeah, no, you need it worse than I do.
Yeah.
All of you out there, drive safely. We may actually get rain. When stuff falls out of the clouds, that's called rain, and it might actually happen. See you tomorrow.